Vietnam, January 1968. The Tet Offensive had begun. Catching U.S. and South Vietnamese forces by surprise, over 180,000 North Vietnamese regulars and Viet Cong troops simultaneously attacked both civilian and military targets throughout South Vietnam. At the end of April, after months of counterattacks, Marines stationed just south of the DMZ were ordered to reconsolidate their forces at the Forward Operations Base and Airfield in Dong Ha. Strategically positioned along the infamous Highway 1, 10 miles south of the DMZ and close to the mouth of the Qua Viet River, Dong Ha was the last defense against the NVA's aggressive push south. U.S. Marine Captain J. Vargas of Winslow, Arizona, was in command of Company G of the 4th Marines. His unit, positioned along the demilitarized zone, was ordered to be airlifted back to Dong Ha, but after repeated heavy attacks on the landing zone, Captain Vargas and his men were ordered to redeploy on foot. As they made their way along a narrow jungle trail, they encountered persistent enemy artillery bombardment and harassment from North Vietnamese troops. Finally, reaching the base at Dong Ha, Captain Vargas and his men, with very little sleep and no hot meals, were immediately ordered back into battle. Loaded onto amphibious craft, they were taken upriver to take part in the recapture of the village of Dai Do, northeast of the Dong Ha. Captain Vargas was ordered to lead an attack on the enemy fortified village. While crossing a large open rice paddy, the company came under a devastating artillery barrage. When one of Vargas's platoons was split off and pinned down by machine guns, mortar, and artillery rounds, Captain Vargas moved forward, single-handedly destroying 3 machine gun positions, freeing the platoon to rejoin the battle. After repeated attempts to capture and hold the village, Captain Vargas's company was driven back and forced to take cover in the village cemetery. Completely surrounded, he called in for naval gun and air support, protecting his troops with a circle of steel. The fighting raged on throughout the night. The next day, his battalion commander, fighting alongside Captain Vargas, was seriously wounded. Under constant enemy fire, Vargas dragged him to an evacuation point, successfully rescuing his commanding officer. By the end of the 3rd day of battle, the North Vietnamese retreated back into the jungle. Captain Vargas finally allowed himself to be treated for his numerous battle wounds. For his heroism, courage, valor, and leadership on the bloody battlefields of Dai Do, Captain J. Vargas was promoted to Major and awarded the Silver Star, Purple Heart, and Congressional Medal of Honor.
Membership. That's the key to the strength of today's American Legion. How's recruiting going in your post?
The American Legion soared from 0 to 685,000 members in its first 8 months. That was a century ago. There was no direct mail program, no internet. Telephones were scarce. The Legion was built on personal contact and engagement, one-on-one, veteran to veteran. I'm American Legion National Commander Brett Reistad, and I'm asking you to join me March 10 through 16, 2019, the week leading up to our 100th birthday, to make contact with veterans in your community for a National Week of Personal Engagement. Let's do our founders proud by moving with strength and momentum into our 2nd century. Visit legion.org/membership to learn more.